Hello.
Let's begin, shall we?
Hello, hello. Let us get into it with our movie puzzle. 10 minutes, fill in the grid. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay. I think we've had this one before. Yeah, we've had this one before. More than once, I think. Um, and Split is Anya Taylor-Joy. Oh, it's Hilary Swank. Yeah, we've had that one before. Michelle Yeoh is the one I couldn't think of. Yeah. Yep. Had that one before. Alright, so we're gonna fill in the grid because we've had that one. Ooh, interesting. So John Wick and Toy Story 4 is gonna be Keanu. John Wick and Spider-Man. Huh. Major. Hi, hello. How are you doing today? Muy bien. Are you speaking only in Espanol for Cinco de Mayo? Um, Doing alright. A little worn out from today. Um, Having to people at the event. Oh, you're on your second margarita. Yeah, that works too. Um, so we had a duplicate for our first movie puzzle, so I'm deciding to try to fill in the grid instead. James Franco is in that. You want... I don't know what that says. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, Naughty Dog. I was like, I know Yokiro is I want, but I didn't know what the second part meant, so I was like, I don't know about that. Alright, so we're trying to fill in the grid with movies I don't remember all that well. Mariners. Hi, hello. How are you doing? We are apparently celebrating Cinco de Mayo today. I'm gonna make a guess of Bill Hader. That just seems right. Um, So who from Toy Story 4 has won an Oscar? Gonna take a wild guess is no for Tim Allen. Oh, Tom Hanks has. Duh. Bill Hader's Toy Story 5. You got there just when I... Yeah. When in doubt, go with Bill Hader. He's surprisingly in, like, everything. Actually, I wonder if he's this one, too. Oh, no. Who from Spider-Man? Because I don't think Tobey Maguire has. Oh, Kirsten Dunst has. It's the Spider-Man from 2002, so it's not Andrew Garfield. And I don't believe he's won an Oscar. I could be wrong on that. Kirsten Dunst didn't. Mixed her up with Anna Paquin in my head. Um. Oh, has Willem Dafoe? He has not won an Oscar. That's a little surprising. I don't believe Tobey Maguire has. We can guess it. Oh, what's his name? The main guy from the Western on HBO. Oh, J.K. Yeah. Yep. You got it for Whiplash. Alright, so now we need to figure out Spider-Man and John Wick, and then Kung Fu Panda John Wick and Kung Fu Panda Pineapple Express. Whiplash is one of my go-tos for best written movies I've seen. Really? I remember when it first came out, I was not a fan of it, but it is on my rewatch list because I feel like people are consistently positive on it, and so I want to go revisit it and see if I have a different take on it second time around. Definitely, ooh, definitely top 10 for you. Wow. Of best written movies. Okay. I hate this when I can see like an actor's face, but I can't pull their name from my head. And it only happens while I'm streaming. um, damn. What's his name? Because I'm trying to think of who else was in John Wick. Um, maybe Lance Reddick? I know he's done. Oh, he's not even in there. Never mind. Yeah, I really don't know who else was in Pineapple Express. Because she came up in another thing we did. Not Amber Heard. Okay. Ian McShane! That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, I was pretty sure he was in Kung Fu Panda, but like I said, I could not think of his name, but yeah, he was in that popular western from like the mid 2000s, Deadwood. Yes. All right. So, I don't believe Bruce Campbell was in John Wick. I don't think Peter Stormare was in Spider-Man. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. No clue the LGBT will not stoop to Google. Oh, we might have to. We only have 4 guesses left. Yeah, I've only seen John Wick the one time, and I do not remember it all that well. Once is enough. Yeah. Alright, Major. We need someone who is in John Wick and Spider-Man, and then we need someone who is in Pineapple Express and Kung Fu Panda. It's possible. We'll give it a shot. He was. Yeah, James Franco was not. Yeah, it was Seth Rogen, so we got that. All right. Yeah, I want to look up the cast list because there's a chance Seth Rogen was just like a cameo. You think Willem Dafoe was in both? I don't remember him in John Wick, but Major was right. All right, I need to look some of this up. Oh, it wasn't Peter Stormare. It was Michael. Yeah, Willem Dafoe was Marcus. Who that is, I could not tell you. All right, yeah, he was someone John Wick goes and talks to in one scene. It looks like. Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, Ian McShane was listed second on that. Seth Rogen was Mantis. Okay. Now we know. Yeah, Major definitely helped. All right. Got our movie puzzle. We have hopefully our brains warmed up. Mine might be a little toasted at this point. Now, on to hopefully some writing. Um, yeah, so we're in our action sequence. We have who's toasted? I was saying I might be, but not in the fun way. Um, Helene, Emiko, and Calixta are in the warehouse. Margaret is outside in the water, causing waves to crash up against the dock. And now some of the piers of the dock are starting to give out. And so the hunters are going to start retreating. We have all the captured witches escaping, and then we have... Yeah, we basically need Helene, Emiko, and Calixa to get out of the warehouse with all the witches. But at the same time, all the hunters are retreating from the warehouse. And then Margaret is at the base of it. Okay. And we need to add complications. So, precisely where we left off. Yeah, Major, like I told you, we had that event today, so I had to, like, be around people and, like, yeah, it was just a lot, and I ended up having to do more than I thought I would have to, so, yeah, it was just, it was a day, but I'm glad it's over. Regular day tomorrow, and then I get to work from home on Thursday instead of Tuesday, so we'll, we'll be alright. So we left off inside the warehouse. The hunter that was trying to fight Helene gets knocked out. We have a beam fall from the roof into the metal table. There are no children on campus for 3 months. And I'm so yeah. We still got finals week is either this week or next week maybe, and then commencement. So yeah, it's definitely been a little bit more quiet because everyone's focused in. Okay, so one thing that I've thought about is if the hunters and the witches are both leaving the warehouse, they're both going to go out onto the main docks and into the street that it connects to, essentially. And so, why wouldn't the hunters just recapture all the witches? So, we have to figure out a way to get the witches more or less hidden. from the hunters. So this is where we're going to start setting that up. No, run down the dock, jump into the oceans. The warehouse explodes behind them. See, nope, no exploding warehouse. It's going to basically just all collapse into the water. More cliche tropes, damn it! Sorry, none here. They're out today. How would she respond? Alright. Yeah, she's not going to tell her explicitly, like, go cast an illusion field so that the hunters don't find them. But if she says, find somewhere to hide them, and then when we come to where they are later and find it's an illusion field, hopefully it should be an interesting enough reveal. looks over warehouse. Looks over the deteriorating warehouse. Alright, this is where we need to add, where we're going to add a complication. So Helene looks over deteriorating warehouse. Alright, I need to phrase this different. So looking over the deteriorating warehouse, comma, Helene finds stuck in a cage on the platform above. Alright, looking at a deteriorating warehouse, Helene finds a group of captured witches stuck in a cage on the platform above. Okay. So this is the tough thing with action sequences is like a lot of this stuff is happening pretty much like the same time, but you have to figure out an order in which to write it that makes sense when somebody's reading it. Okay. It's alright to use meanwhile. I wouldn't use a whole lot though. Yeah. Unstable? What would be another word for that? Like, maybe closer to deteriorating? T deteriorate. Um, like the floor of the warehouse, because it's part of the dock, it's wooden, so parts of it are starting to, like parts of wood are starting to fall through. Deteriorating. Splinters, buckles. Yeah, that would be like the individual pieces, but major. Thank you very, very much for the 500 biddies. I appreciate you. Ooh, crumbling. Crashing. Well, it crashes into, right? Because it's going to basically like hit the floor, take another chunk of the floor with it, so it goes into the water. I guess we could say crashing through. To be more specific. We'll just say she exits. Huh? There, okay. Same. Alright, we've been in the warehouse. So, Margaret is in the water, casting the spell. Nope. So where did we leave it before? Margaret opens her eyes. Opening her eyes, Margaret finds a wave, slams into the wooden pillars holding up the dock. Oh, time out. Let me think this through. Okay, okay. I know what she's gonna do. Okay. Right, because earlier we said she went down the embankment. Yeah, she ascends the embankment to the water's edge. So now she's going from the water. Wave slamming into the wooden pillars. Holding up the dock while the pillar snaps, collapses, retreats. Is there a specific word for like getting out of water or just like retreats, moving from the bay? Margaret retreats from the water. And climbs the embankment back up to the sidewalk. fleeing. That, why couldn't I think of that? Margaret. Leading, guiding, escorting. Ushering, steer. Squiring. No. When you change one thing in a sentence, you have to change all the other. Uh, all right, so we now have Helene inside the building as it's falling apart. trying to save people. We have Margaret outside, watching, realizing she done fucked up Aaron. She asks Emiko for help, but Emiko doesn't like Margaret, so she doesn't give her an answer. And I think Margaret kind of starts to realize that Helene might still be in the docks. So we have kind of a callback to the first scene of Margaret watching as Helene is in a dangerous situation and but can't really do anything about it. Now we need to go back inside the warehouse. We called it Hunter's Warehouse. Night. Alright, so Helene. Helene searches her route to the witch is trapped on a platform above, but there isn't a clear path. Nope, that R was supposed to go there. Alright, now we need our translate. No.
Procido.
Prochido. Do we like Prochido or
Succido.
Suchido? Yeah, I think I like Suchido better. Now I want Cheetos. Joking. Flamin' Hot Suchido. How do I want to describe this? Need something better than just bends. Contorts. I like that. I like that better. Yeah, more or less works. Metal walkway above leaning towards into a makeshift ramp. Sorry, I just had a thought that um okay, so if the hunters have gathered a bunch of witches in order to conduct experiments on them in this warehouse, and we've established that they themselves wear protective wards to keep witches from casting spells directly on them, would they do anything additionally to make sure that the captured witches couldn't cast spells on in other ways? Sure, shackles with runes. Yeah. Yeah, that could make it easier. Yeah, we can make that work. Cause I was just like, oh shit, what would they be allowed to do any magic inside of this warehouse? Because yeah, but if they just somehow have a rune like directly on the captured witches, yeah, that would probably make more sense. All right, we are about an hour into stream, so yeah, the big iron collars. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, when we kind of catch up at the end with the captured witches, they'll notice those on all of them, and then it's something they'll take care of off screen, but yeah, they can say explain it away that way. So yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. Yes. Hour into stream. I'm taking a short break. I'm gonna throw some words on stream up for anyone who would like to participate. And yeah, I will be back shortly. 3, 2, 1, go. fantastic on both rounds. GG. Helped. Naughty Dog with the hard carry. Major. Doing major things. I kind of stole the first longest word from you, so I might have taken away some of your points. Sorry, Major. But like that one came up and I saw kidney right away, so I was like, I'm just gonna type it real quick before I step away. But still, amazing job, everyone. I saw you steal pool from me. Damn timer. Oh, I didn't even. Oh, yeah, you did get it. Yeah, because I was thinking about it. I started it and I saw lollipop, but I had already stepped away and I was like, whatever. And I was thinking about other words that were in it and I thought of pool and pole. So, yeah. GG's. All right. Let's get back into trying to finish out this sequence. We'll try. I don't know if it'll happen, but we'll try. But the door is by. Sorry, thinking a sec of what she would do. If we have wreckage, pinning shut the door to the cell. Because I don't want her to like turn it into water, something like that, because that's just, I mean, I guess technically if it's wood, wood is partially made up of water. No, because it would have to be dried. Sorry, I'm probably overthinking things. It's fine. But like when she turns the sword to rust, like that's kind of like speeding up a natural process. So I want to try to think of something. Yeah, she could rot the wood. That could also be interesting because it's kind of the inverse of what Margaret did earlier with the cabbage and kind of taking the rot away from it. I like this version better.
Exputesco.
Nope, nope, wrong one. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Exactly. So I don't think I'd ever do it at this point because it would be completely futile endeavor. But man, I wish I could have rewritten the prequels. They're they could have been so much better. And I know it's arrogant saying I think I could write better movies than George Lucas, but I think there were a lot of mistakes made with the prequels. And maybe I'd just make them worse. I don't know. But man, I love the OG and like the prequels could have been so good. I wish Lucas would have gone the route of Jar Jar being a Sith to be uh nah, I think Anakin throughout the original or through the prequel should have been the same age Luke was in the original trilogy. I think that's the biggest mistake. Because if you fix that, I think it fixes a lot of other things. And yeah, completely remove Jar Jar. Should have combined Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan into one character named Obi-Wan. Oh yeah, I guess kind of rots away. Molders is a rad word. Sounds too much like that guy from the X-Files. Ah, words. Typing. Come on, fingers. Hit the right buttons. She wouldn't even have to move it. Wood rots into soil. R so the way I'm thinking about it, maybe I'm wrong, but like if there's a giant pile, like it would rot down, but there would still be like a pile of stuff, and so she'd have to kind of move that away so the door can open easily. What do we call that? Um, the UITCH. Yes, you are correct, Major. I just used remaining. That's not how you spell that. There it is. Not yet. The enduring. Hmm. They won't endure for long, but snap, crumble, give way. Fracture, splinter, bust, bust. He said collapses. No, just watches. Okay, now let me look at our outline. Where are we? Okay. Hmm. That's the word I want. Is waiting 1D or 2? Waiting. Okay, so let's instead say mm, I need to have a document with like all the synonyms that I constantly use. Uh, Searching is one that like scouring. That's a good one. How about Is there another better word for like urgent? Trallian, hi, hello. Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate the lurk. Thanks for stopping by. Ooh, tenacious. What could be there that would be... Raise to fracture. Would it be... there a good word for like when you carry, for lack of a better word, like carry someone along water? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Ferry? To convey or transport in a ferry or water vessel. I guess it would be ferries. Convey. Yeah, sure. Alright, yeah, so Margaret pulls Helene free, then ferries her back to the shore. So at this point in history, I don't know that CPR is a thing, or that they would even know about it. When was CPR invented? Sure. 1960, yeah. It doesn't exist at this point. They would not know to do that. And I don't want... That feels a little tropey. So I don't know that I would want to do it. So I think it just might be... Prep Parade, Book Club. Oh, book's still going. Author Christie in Rad are streaming. Okay. Um, I don't remember who we rated last time. Um, yeah. Thank you, Major. Oh, I guess I need to make that explicit. Helene, unconscious. Is there no W in that? No. Oh, it's O, not A. it's not just like she. Sorry, words are not a thing. I can't word, but I want to finish. No word. No, we're not using that. Uh, we'll go with stroking instead. How about that? Put the margaritas down. Okay. So at this point, I feel like the action sequence is pretty well finished, and so next time it's going to be a lot of the fallout from what's happened. Um, so basically, like, as Helene starts to come to, she asks Margaret what happened. Margaret tells her some of the stuff that's happened. So, like, they're gonna kind of. Helene's gonna find out what happened, and we're gonna have the fallout from it kind of happening at the same location, but the kind of thread of everything has passed. So it's gonna be. And it's gonna lead to Margaret running away again. Unfortunately. She can't have what she wants yet. But I think that does finish up the. Where did we start? Oh, this is where we started. So let's see how we did. Hey, got almost up to 600 words this time. I also want to. No. Make a note. from using magic. Um, Something we kind of talked about earlier with the captured witches having the shackles, and we'll reveal that when Helene reconnects with Emiko and Calixa. So, yeah. That will be next time on Thursday when I get to work from home. So hopefully I will be able to word some words. All right. So do we want to raid book? Rad is playing Gamble with Your Friends, or Author Christie. I think I'll raid over book. I was over there earlier. Copy link address. Thanks, Naughty Dog. I appreciate you hanging out. Major's vote is for Rad. Alright, then we raid Rad. Copy link address. That. Alright, we will raid over to Rad. Say hi, what's up. All the stuff, all the things. There's the raid messages. Yeah, I will be back Thursday. We will pick up with the fallout from all the action sequence and split Margaret and Helene back up again. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Stopped by, hung out, lurked, chatted, all the stuff, all the things. Major, thank you again for the 500 bits. And yeah, just for being awesome. Um, yeah, everyone have a good middle part of your week, and I will hopefully see you next time.
Thanks for checking out my channel. Do whatever you want, live your life. Hope you're happy in your body. Much love to you, and see you around.